Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ebsworth Street. So I originally built a layout dedicated to a friend of mine called Stephen Parascandolo. Unfortunately, he died in a car crash in 2007. He was a huge part of the Beckenham West Beckenham Model Railway Club. As you can see, I've got a t-shirt on today showing what I've done in the club. So Stephen was a very huge and passionate person about the Croydon Tramlink. He always took photos, always went out to instances, and always took photos of and films of various different parts of the network. And obviously after his death in 2007, Tramlink, within probably about an hour or two, obviously come to the decision that they would quite happily name a tram after him, which was 2535, which still runs on the network today. Obviously it's in the white and green livery, but obviously what I've done is I've actually built a layout based on the old red livery, which is what the first tram was actually made out of. So what I'm going to be doing today is showing you what I actually built, how I built it, and just shows you what you can actually achieve in just a small space. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pan round, I'm going to show you what I've actually built, and you'll be able to see what I've done. So here is Croydon Tramlink. So this layout is 7 foot by 1 foot. It's completely controlled automatically. I'll pan out a bit more, there we go. As you can see, I've got a lot of memorabilia. So there's the map of, and I've managed to get some information sheets, and there's various different bits that you can actually what you could actually get at the time. So this is just an information sheet that obviously people can look through, and then I've got loads of different Tramlink guides, tours, user guides, timetables and everything else that I've collected throughout the year. Obviously here is the layout. It runs automatically. As you can see, there is some working lights. Just down there I decided to build some 3D cones and put some lights in them, and obviously you've got some interiors of the houses. So if you go in, you'll be able to see some of the houses have got interiors, and you've got some lights in them, so you can actually see different types. So you can actually see all the different things that you can do, and obviously down this end is all the photos that he managed to take during his time in Tramlink. Different colours and variations, and then obviously down here is some more user guides and Tramlink updates and various different things, and obviously even a tram in snow. Most people don't actually know, but the Tramlink is actually run by First Group. So they have the contract for Tramlink, so they run it on the behalf of TfL. So that's the reason why they've got those in that livery. So I was quite lucky on the day that I organised the Croydon Tramlink tour. They had this up on the front of the tram, and as you can see, the huge massive sign that they gave me saying it proudly sits on 2535, and here is 2535. I've got a little O gauge model, and I've actually got his nameplates on the side of it, so you can actually see the tram, as you can see there. So yeah, so it's basically, this is what I designed to do, and obviously the best thing that I did do was I actually built it so you can actually run it at night. So if I'm in a dark exhibition, you've got different levels that you can do, so I can easily lower the and then if I go to, so I can do blue. So there we go, there's night time. You can see all the little lights on the streets light up, and the cones. That I will go into a little bit more detail eventually once I get the opportunity to. The only downside is obviously the Croydon tram doesn't have any lights or anything, because obviously it was based It was all designed by TfL, the museum TfL Friends. So the tram was actually made back in 2007. They've done 100 of a motorised one and 100 of a non-motorised one. I'm quite lucky, I've actually got one of each. Obviously this is the motorised one, and the non-motorised one sits in my cabinet on the inside. So what we decided to do is, obviously we didn't want to base it on anywhere, because obviously to try and base it on anywhere, it was very difficult to try and model. So we decided to just pick a little station just so we can run the tram. And as you can see there, they cost around about 65 quid when they first come out, the trams. Now you'll be lucky if you can pick one up for less than probably about £200 to £300. So yeah, they're pretty good. I couldn't really fault it when I bought it. So it runs all of the computer software stuff, which is all around the back of the layout. So there we go. So turn it back on so I can actually see. So yeah, so this is what it looks like when it is at an exhibition. So you can actually see the different types of the layout that you can do, and it really does depend on what part of the layout you can watch. There's so much to see, and I know sometimes a lot of people think, well, you've got a huge layout but hardly anything going on. Yeah, it is very true, but you know, for something like this, it's almost for the enthusiast type to enjoy. Yeah, it's almost like S-Stocks inflation. This is what I class as Tramlink. So I've got a Croydon tram there, and then eventually I'm going to try and get this sign to come on the show with us and to go round. So they break up into the end piece there, join up together, and then that just then goes separately, so it can be used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go round and I'll show you what it's like at the back. So here we have is a Model Rail electronic group, couple of gizmos, and what it does is it actually then tells you where to stop and how to stop. So what we've done is we've done a nice little diagram there, and then that indicates what the lights are there. So we've got the direction, tells you which direction it's going in, so we know it's in the middle at the moment. There we go. So we've got the green and the track power just come up. The white light indicates that it's empty now, that section, and we've got the yellow detection, which means it's down at this end of the layout. So yes, there's not really much else to it. And as you can see, you know, it's a huge layout that you can really get into, and obviously these are all the track feeds down here, and you've got the little pantograph as well. So there's various different things you can do, and how you can do it. So obviously I try to, you know, give you as much detail as possible, and obviously that there is actually a photograph. And then we've cut round the actual buildings, so we've just cut round them, and then stuck that on, and then put that onto the back of the houses. So the back of all the houses here are all scratch built, and there's very different ones. Now you can actually see this one here has got a hole in it, and there is another one that's got a hole in it, which is this one up here. So then if we was operating it round the layout, around the back of the layout, we could see where we needed to stop the tram. But on this tram, what we've done is I've had to paint underneath the bottom of the tram white, so it gets a detection. I've still got to put the blinds along the top there, I've just noticed that. And obviously we got the old stylish lamps. So in the forefoot here, I've got the detection, as you can see there. So it's a marker. One is for that direction, one's for this direction, and one's for that direction, is that direction. With great ease of respect, do you ever get bored at exhibition? It's a nice layout, but not something it's not a whole lot of operation. This part is mainly what I class as more telling people about Croydon Tramlink. It's same thing again, 9 out of 10 I tend to take with me. So it's got a show booked for September, which is Gravesend, which is the Fort Pitt show. And that's taken another layout, and 9 times out of 10 we can just leave this layout running by itself. When we went to it's actually been on Walden Road's YouTube channel. He actually filmed it down in Bexley Heath back in 2019, and I had 3 layouts there. I had a Dudley Road, my Engage layout, and this. And most of my club members tend to leave me with this because obviously it's my baby. Yeah, and I can get into some good conversations with it, like you said there, Cameron. Basically, because I've got the knowledge and that from there. It's just nice to actually see all the difference. I've still got another folder of info and things like that, so if people want to see more stuff, it's great. The next thing I do need to do is fix the sign up, because I haven't done that yet. That's my next thing to do. But as you can see, this is what it was like at exhibitions, and hopefully what I'm going to try and do is, obviously I've got exactly the same baseboards in the middle as you can see here, which is going to be my new layout called Gordon Lane, and that's what it's going to look like. Hopefully I'm going to have an 18-foot scenic section like this, which will be completely dark. There'll be lights in underneath, and hopefully I'll be able to say to him, put me in a really dark room or something. The only thing is, I did buy the Dapol overhead catenary, and which we found on this was it wasn't actually fit for purpose. So what I'd done is, one of my club members like these and then solder the wires on, so you can actually see the difference in what it was like. And obviously we tried to get as realistic as possible, so I took a photo of the seats, and these seats are Croydon Tramlink seats. So if you go down to them, you can actually see that they are part of it. So there's various things you can do. So I try and make it as realistic as possible. As you can see there, I'll pan in a little bit so you can zoom in. And I wanted to do a little bit of a feature, because obviously with such a small layout I needed to add something, and that's what I did. I decided to put some flashing lights in, and if you just look over there, you've got actually a bin with some rubbish just flowing out. So this is Tramlink. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm only doing a short little video today. I wanted to put this up just to make sure it's still working, because I have advertised it to go to shows, and I want to make sure that everything's working, and the things that I do need to do on the layout, which is obviously fix the sign and do other little bits and pieces. So all I'm going to say is I'm going to sign out once the tram leaves the station, and hopefully I will be able to bring you another video, another little update on what other projects I'm doing. And there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Happy modelling and stay safe. Bye bye.